Hello, and thank you for joining us for the AEW Rampage First Dance Virtual Media Scrum, live from the United Center in Chicago. We'll now turn it over to AEW CEO, GM, and Head of Creative, Tony Khan.
Hey, everybody. Hey, thank you for joining us. I think the person you want to hear from is sitting right next to me, so I'm going to tee it up for the man of the hour and of many hours to come, the star of the First Dance, CM Punk, the best in the world. Here's CM Punk.
Hello.
All right, our first question is from Nick Hausman of Wrestling Inc., and he'll be followed by Chris Mueller of Bleacher Report.
I feel like I want to look on Twitter to look up all these people to see if I have them blocked or not.
No, these are nice people.
Hey, Punk! Punk, you don't have me blocked. I covered your trial, that you won. So
good reason,
we're on
good
terms.
reason to block you, Nick.
Come on, Nick.
Well, all right. Well, hey, Punk, congratulations to you both. It was a really, really awesome night. It was great to be in the building. I just want to know if we can know a little bit more about your deal, Punk. Like, how many years are you signed to with AEW right now? Are you going to be at all events? Like, what are the details of what you signed on to do with AEW?
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. I'm just making sure because I can't hear myself, so it's a broadcaster thing. I don't really know if you want to know how the sausage is made. I think one of the biggest appeals of AEW is everybody here looks like they show up to have a good time, and you don't want to know details about my contract. Just know that I'm here. It's not a part-time thing, and I'm here to have fun, and I'm here to help if anybody wants help. Do you want to specify?
No, I don't think we're going to be doing this for a while. We're excited.
Yeah.
This isn't a short-term thing or a part-time thing. This is like a full-time, we're very excited kind of thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, we're here together.
Well, thank you both. Up next is Chris Mueller of Bleacher Report, followed by Connor Casey of Comic Book.
All right. Thanks for taking the time. Congratulations on knocking it out of the park tonight, guys. That was amazing. Punk, I just got to know, what was it like when you stepped out onto that stage and heard that insane reaction? And just how hard was it for you not to tear up a little bit?
I did tear up. I teared up a lot. I thought I was going to cry more than I did, but it's very emotional, you think, like, do these people care? And if they do care, do they care because I'm from here? It felt like a real moment, and I didn't want to really think too much about what I was going to say because I legitimately needed to go out there and feel that. And then I knew I would know once I was out there what I had to say and what I had to do.
Thanks, Punk. Up next is Connor Casey of Comic Book, and Dave LaGreca of Busted Open will follow him.
All right. Hey, Punk, thanks for taking the time. Congratulations on the comeback. I guess the real question is what changed from a couple of years ago? You talked about how the door has been open for you to make a comeback if you wanted to, but you were kind of hesitant. And you mentioned that you talked with Tony back in 2019 about, hey, maybe this something does happen. Where did the switch flip?
Actually, 2018. I think we talked in 2018.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll go ahead and spoil the fact. I've been talking to Tony for probably a year and a half about this.
Yeah, a long time.
You know what I mean? And some girls are easy to get into bed. I am not.
Nope.
I need to be wined and dined, and that's not I need more money and less dates, and I need this and I need that. It was literally just talking to Tony and getting to know him. And the more people that he employed that I knew, I'd ask questions, they'd tell me things. I've been in the game for a few minutes, so I've seen, and I think I traced it back to, especially since the downfall of ECW, every 6 months to a year, somebody pops up. I have money and we're going to have TV and we're going to use all the ECW guys. This is not a slight on Tony at all. It's more of a slight on me being a paranoid, neurotic, anxiety-ridden, very careful person. And I wasn't in a hurry, and the pandemic kind of helped that out. You know what I mean? I knew I couldn't debut if there's no people in the building. So I always say timing is everything, and there were a lot of happy accidents along the way that made this possible.
Thank you both. Up next is Dave LaGreca of Busted Open and William Jones of the Daily Southtown. You're on deck.
First of all, thank you both for an amazing moment tonight. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And yeah, it was great.
Thank
and you know, Punk, what went through your mind just before you stepped out on that entrance ramp tonight?
I've been telling everybody all day, and my wife all week, probably the week before that I was extremely nervous, and I was, you know. And I mean, like Eddie Kingston, it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, why are you nervous? And because I'm nervous. I haven't been on the bike in a minute, you know. And being nervous is an extremely good thing, because I have been a part of moments like that, maybe not as big as that, because that's a pretty big moment, where I didn't care at all. I wanted to be anywhere else. So being nervous meant that I cared, and I was emotional walking out on that stage, knowing that, hey man, this is fun. I love this again. Because I've been a lifelong wrestling fan, you know, and it sometimes you fall in and out of love with stuff, you know. And if you set something free and it comes back to you, it's true love.
Yeah, man.
That's good. It's good, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you. Up next is William Jones of the Daily Southtown, followed by Abe Kanan of WCHI.
Hey, thank you guys very much for your time tonight, and fun show. Punk, I just wanted to ask you, from a physical aspect, how have you been getting ready for this, and how have you been doing that, under the radar? Obviously, you've been fighting and stuff like that, but I always hear, being in the ring is a unique thing, being in wrestling shape. How have you been getting ready for what you're going to do in 2 weeks?
This is probably going to sound terrible. I could see the negative headlines right now, but I haven't really been doing anything different. I haven't been doing dedicated in-ring training. I've been working out in my basement, trying to get into better shape to be publicly in my underwear again. And I think in the best way, this is like riding a bike. And I want it to be authentic, like I don't want to try to do stuff that I never did. I don't want to try to learn any new tricks. I want people to be like, oh, he's still the same dude. I'm sure I'll get in the ring in between now and when I got to try to keep up with these young guys. But there hasn't really been any super dedicated. I mean, let's be honest. I got a bump card, right? I'm not going to get in the ring and take a bunch of bumps. I will run the ropes though.
Thanks, Punk. Abe Kanan, you're up now, followed by Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated.
Punk, first of all, thank you for the ice cream. It was delicious.
What's up, Abe? How are you?
Good, Punk. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you.
I was in the arena at the Money in the Bank when you left through the crowd with the title. How did this moment feel compared to that Money in the Bank moment, which I was at both and they were equally as awesome? I was just wondering which one, what was the difference? How did it feel to you compared to that moment?
This felt more organic. Everything I ever did prior to being here felt like a fight, and it kind of squeezed the life out of some stuff. This was a joyful moment that was just like, it didn't need to get overproduced. It didn't need everybody's input. It needed a few select people's input and just an understanding that like it's pro wrestling. We don't need to slick it up and lacquer it and shine it up too much. It needed to be real. And to compare the two moments, this one did not feel like a job.
Thanks both. Our next question is from Justin Brasso of Sports Illustrated, and then Joe Stazuski of the New York Post will follow that.
Thank you. Congratulations on executing such a brilliant moment. You've crafted such a masterpiece of a career. You've been gone, to both of you, absolutely. You've been gone 7 years. And your work really would have stood the test of time had you been gone much longer, too. Is this the right time for you to return to pro wrestling and step back in the ring? And on a lighter note, whose idea were the ice cream bars?
Say that one more time because you broke up when you started asking the question.
The first question is, why is it the right time for you to return to pro wrestling and step back in the ring? And secondly, who can we shine some light on for the ice cream bars?
The ice cream bars are me. That's Andy Kaufman. I used to do it all the time when I would do Q&As at like Comic Cons and stuff like that. I would bring people donuts, pizza. And these ice cream bars to me represent an idea that was gift wrapped to people that didn't bother to take the time to try to understand their audience. This is the easiest home run I've ever hit, and this is a legit thank you. You know, John Lester came to the Chicago Cubs and won us a trophy, won us a World Series. When he got traded away, he opened up a tab at a bunch of bars as a way to say thank you to the fans. This is my way to say thank you to the fans. This is personal for me. And timing's everything. It felt right. You know, when I left Ring of Honor, this is serious. I did not want to go, but I felt I couldn't stay. And you can't really explain that to people. It's just something, you know, you live through. And when I was sick and tired and hurt, and I realized that like these people wouldn't care if I died today. There'd be another show tomorrow, and I knew I had to remove myself from the situation. I didn't know how long it was going to take for me to heal, you know. And then this came along, and credit to everybody involved in AEW. It reminded me of places I used to work that I loved, where it was not about, it was just more about the spirit of the thing, you know. And this, instead of feeling like a house, it felt like a home. And this is the best way I can possibly describe it.
Thank you both. Our next question is from Joe Stazuski of the New York Post, followed by David Bixenspan.
Joseph, you need to unmute yourself.
I remember my first Zoom, Joe.
Oh no.
Joe, if you hit the red microphone that's on the dashboard. All right, Aaron, we need to go to the next one.
We'll get Joe.
All right, while we're waiting for Joe, we'll move on to David Bixenspan.
David, same thing, unmute yourself.
A lot of professionals.
He's very professional.
Is he?
Yeah, that's good.
Is he?
Yeah, he's very well researched. Very well researched.
David?
Do we lose Bix too?
Yeah, they're both self-muted and
Can we get them?
they're not.
Okay.
Maybe they're on the same.
David's dialing.
Wi-Fi.
David's dialing in, so give him just a second.
He's got a dial. What is it, like #06 or something like that to unmute yourself if you dial in? I think there's like, you dial like #06. Is that it? #6?
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, he'll get a PIN number.
Somebody get him a decent router.
Yeah. What is this, Microsoft? Is Microsoft Teams? Does Microsoft Teams is a great product. Official sponsor of the National Football League.
No. All right, Aaron, who's our next one for now?
If David and Joe can't dial in, we'll move on to Jim Barcelone of the Miami Herald.
All right, let me hold on one second. let me
Microsoft
find
Teams
them.
is so friendly. It's so user friendly. We use it all the time at work.
All right,
All
Jim,
right,
you're
guys,
on.
can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank you all. Hey, but if I knew about this phone thing,
Oh,
I
that's
would have.
so sick. That's so sick.
I would have
Sorry.
known about this phone thing. No, if I would have known about the phone thing, I'm so old, I would still be using the phone. I like that. What is the thing there? But I got my router working, so that's okay. Hey,
It's great.
Punk, you mentioned about working with younger talent. I don't know if you got a chance to check out two really cool shows, AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation, and what they're doing with young talent there. And your thoughts, A, if you saw the shows, B, working on some of those shows, wrestling or doing commentary. Thank you.
Did you just shake your head?
I was like the matches.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be a television guy, but I don't rule anything out. I haven't seen Dark or Elevation. Me and a couple of my friends were talking about this earlier. I'm not a technology guy, and I'm obviously an old head now. So like when kids are like, "Oh, YouTube," I regrettably, I suppose, I don't know anything about YouTube. I still watch DVDs. Um, it's a different generation now, you know. I'm Terry Funk now, so I'm sure now that I'm here and we got this first one out of the way, yeah, I'm gonna watch everything, but I haven't thus far. That doesn't mean I won't do it.
Thank you. And our next question will be from Amy Nemedy of WrestleJoy.
What a nice name, Russell Joy.
Yeah, they're super positive. They love AEW. People think almost too much. But I appreciate it.
I'm gonna look him up and make sure I don't get blocked or anything.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Tony. Hello, CM Punk. So I wanted to talk about, you've got an incredible moment tonight, an incredible reaction.
Thank
And the first thing you do is immediately line into a feud with one of AEW's most up and coming new stars, Darby Allin, at All Out. How did this match come about, and what are you doing to prepare for it?
I actually want to backtrack and say the first thing I did, I haven't been in a ring in 7 years. The first thing I did was mention Britt Baker. I think this needs to be paid attention to. This is how you get talent over. This is how you help people. I think Britt's great. I think everybody here is great. If I could have name dropped everybody, I would have, but that popped into my head. The Darby thing came about, it's this guy's idea. We were just kicking around ideas. I made a list. I think I did a Twitter Q&A year and a half ago. I don't know.
It was like was it last year?
And it was just like, hey, Punk, who do you see that you think you'd like to work with? And it was all, like young guys that I saw potential in. Darby was one of them. So I think that's kind of the nucleus of the idea. And he's already grown leaps and bounds since that tweet. So it kind of made sense. I think if I was a kid and I saw Darby Allin, you'd be my favorite wrestler because I wasn't a jock. I was a skateboard kid. And he does things like I'm obsessed with his dive. I don't want to take it because it looks painful, but it just looks like it fits. I can't explain sometimes where you get a feeling about situations or people, and a lot of it just makes sense.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Punk. Our last question for Punk will be from Mark Raimondi of ESPN.
Unmute yourself, Mark. Come on, Mark.
Mark's awesome.
You're better than this, Mark.
Mark's gonna get this in.
He's better than this, Mark. Come on.
Mark's a PWG fan.
Wait.
Oh, there he is.
I think it's working now.
Hey, there you go.
It's good. It's good to see you guys virtually.
Good to see you.
First for Punk, you mentioned some happy accidents in one of your first quotes here a few minutes ago. What does that mean exactly? What were some of the circumstances that brought you to AEW?
When I say happy accident, I mean nothing was forced. It was just very relaxed. I don't even want to call it a negotiation. It's just, it's like one of those things when you're talking to somebody and you say the same thing at the same time and you're just like, yeah, that's it. You know, like this doesn't have to be as hard as some people will tell you it needs to be. And what I've observed, especially today, being here for the first time, is nobody's standing on their own dick. They just let stuff happen because, again, it's pretty simple and it's straightforward. When it's right, it's right, and you don't need 16 cooks in the kitchen, you know, messing stuff up, trying to politic and either do something positive or negative based on how somebody else is going to react to it. You know, like everybody here was literally just like, let's let's have fun. And there's a time and there's a place to be deadly serious about this business. But I see no problem in being able to do both. You know, I went out there and I had fun, but I was deadly serious. You know, so I guess the happy accidents are just really people in charge back here letting people make their own mistakes and learning from it and not punishing anybody. And you just, you know, like I get it, it's television, but there's an entire generation of people that was ingrained that, you know, if you screw up, you're gonna get fired. And I just feel nothing but joy back here backstage, you know. And I think if somebody does screw something up or, you know, make a mistake, I think there's just people back here that'll say, hey, maybe try it, do it this way this time. Or, you know, there's no I told you so, there's no pointing fingers, there's nobody in the corner elbowing, and, you know, like everybody back here wants everybody to succeed. I don't think that's a happy accident, that's a happy on purpose.
Thanks so much, Punk. Now we have some time with Tony Khan to take questions.
Do you
We'll try
want to, you don't have to wait these out if you don't want. You're welcome to hang out with me while I answer these. Your time is very valuable.
Who,
sir.
me?
Yeah, you don't have, you can hang out with me if
I
you
ain't got
want.
shit to do. Let's go.
All right, great. This is awesome.
I'll chime in.
All right, great.
We'll try David Bixenspan again. So David,
Great.
floor is yours.
What's up, Bix?
Hello.
Hey.
It's actually, they unmuted the wrong person. It's Joe from the New York Post.
Good.
Oh, hey, Joe from the New York Post.
Yeah, I did not have a microphone icon before to even hit. When I signed back in, it popped up. Punk, welcome back. Tony.
Why don't you had a question for Punk?
This is Tony's time.
No, he got hosed. He's the poor guy. Please.
I actually had one for each of you, so this will be perfect.
Okay.
Still here.
Punk, you had talked before about how you were kind of maybe hesitant early on and kind of waiting to see. When you have a company that you know was a startup like AEW, is there something they have to prove to you to make you start to think about this as being a reality? And for Tony, just what was this process like of courting Punk? Obviously, it's been a couple of years. He kind of gave us a little bit of his side of it. What was it like from your side, kind of going through this?
Well, you asked two questions. I mean, I guess.
So for me, I don't. I mean, who am I? Nobody has to prove anything to me. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't about them having to prove anything to me. It was about me being open to the idea, and then it wasn't going to be, well, I'm just going to jump in the pool right away. No, it was I had to dip my toe in. You know what I mean? And see how things were going to be. Actually, this is all Renee Paquette's fault. Honestly, this is all her fault, because she's the one who got me to come back to do the backstage thing, and it opened my eyes to like, and okay, this is fun. She's a good person. I like working with good people, and that's really all it was. Like nobody had to prove anything to me, but I did take a wait and see approach, and I wait and I saw, you know, I like what I saw.
That's pretty much it. We stayed in touch, and I really enjoy talking to him. And you clearly had watched some Dynamites and had some conversations about him. And I really wanted you to come back and wrestle so badly, desperately. And I think it didn't really make any sense, like you said, to do it when there were no fans. And really, like, you know, some of the happy accidents I think are, I'd like to think that we navigated the pandemic as well as we could have and done shows. And again, that was not anything anybody ever planned for, but it definitely gave us a lot of time to talk because there was no rush to do anything because the fans were not coming back anytime soon. And I think that it was worth the wait. It was definitely worth the wait. And it had to be the right circumstances. But honestly, this whole thing, he had so many brilliant ideas in the run up to this, including coming here to the United Center. And when he talked about happy accidents, another one is that the building was available on a Friday night when we were able to get it. And it was like, you know, when I told him on the phone, I was like, I think we can do the second episode of Rampage there. and I think it would be the coolest thing because we get like launch the show and then come do the second Rampage here and make it the first dance. And it's, again, like all these things just lined up perfectly. The opponent, to find somebody who's so red hot to match up against somebody who the idea of CM Punk coming back and wrestling is the hottest thing that's happened to the wrestling business in many, many, many years. And the excitement you felt in the building was so real. That's how it happened. And I just, you know, I've really enjoyed talking to him. Like you said, it didn't really feel like anything forced. I think it felt like something we both really wanted to do. And it's been really fun working on it. And this was the culmination of the most exciting, most anticipated thing we've ever done. So it was very cool.
Thanks, everyone. Our next question will be from Niger Chambers of Big Gold Belt Media, followed by Bill Apter of the Apter Chat.
Hey, evening, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great, great. Thank you again for such a historic night. It was a great time, surely had by all. Tony, I gotta ask you, you're running the United Center. I'm going to be there in New York and for Arthur Ashe in September. And there are a lot of interesting venues that you're running. Are there any more that you have your eye on, you know, that are non-traditional wrestling venues?
This is, I mean, there hasn't been wrestling in the United Center in a long time, and it was CM Punk's idea to bring it back to the United Center, and it was a great idea, and it paid off tonight. Arthur Ashe was something I stumbled onto truly, like a long time ago, like a couple years ago. And when I was looking for a venue that nobody had run, when I was looking for stadiums with a roof where we could put on a special show, it had been under our nose the whole time. I can't believe nobody's ever done that. So it's going to be a really special night. I think there's a good chance CM Punk's going to be a big part of it, and I'm very excited to have.
I like Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe is going to be a great venue in New York City. It'll be a great return for one of the all-time wrestling greats and one of the all-time great wrestling cities to do it in a venue where nobody's ever wrestled before.
Our next question will be from Stephanie Chase of Digital Spy. Bill Apter's having some tech issues. So Stephanie, you're up now, and Bill Pritchard of WrestleZone will follow.
Hi, Punk. Hi, Tony.
Stephanie.
Hi. I'm wondering how hard it was for you both to keep this a secret and not fully confirm it. And
what secret?
The worst kept secret of all time.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
If this was a secret.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
How many people did you actually confirm it to? And also, Punk, was there ever any consideration to not use Cult of Personality, or was that always going to be the song?
No, it was always going to be the song. And I told my wife, you know, I had to run it by her. And I think everybody else kind of would be like, hey, are you doing it? And I would just be like, I can't. Which make them go, oh, okay, I get it. So again, you know, this kind of goes back to one of the appealing things about AEW for me. And it's a bit of a bummer of a topic. Brody Lee passes away, right? Come to find out that he was sick, but nobody knew. Nobody said anything to anybody because it's nobody's business. A lot of respect for everybody back here. I knew Brody. I love Brody. So seeing that, I was like, I mean, there's something about that, you know, like if that was anywhere else, it'd be all over the internet. His poor wife would have to be dealing with that on top of already dealing with this tragic event. So I think everybody would ask Tony, and Tony would say the same thing.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that, but you get it. But we also don't want to beat you over the head with it and lie. You know, I didn't have them construct some fugazi pipe and drape and drive me into the United Center and hide me from everybody. No, I walked in here like a human being, and I was like, hey, everybody, and I was meeting people walking through the hallway, because I just think these people, again, nobody's back here standing on their own dick. Like, everybody's getting out of their own way, like just letting stuff happen and having fun behind the camera and in front of the camera. People are just having fun, and they just want to be a part of it. That's it. So nobody's trying to, you know, tweet and spoil stuff. Like, let's just all have fun. Like, we get it, you know. So I think a lot of people back here were in on it. They knew I was going to be here, but they weren't sure. And man, isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Worst kept secret, designed that way for a reason. You can criticize and say, well, they should have advertised. Maybe the ratings will be better. It's about the moments. It's about the moments and making people go, man, I can't miss the show. I don't know what's going to happen. This is fun, and I want to be a part of it.
Thanks, Punk, and thanks, Stephanie. Up next is Bill Pritchard of WrestleZone, followed by Brian Joyce of Wrestle Talk.
Hey, Punk, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. You've been doing commentary. We actually talked not too long ago about heels, and you said you wanted to strictly be an in front of the camera performer. Is that something that you also want to do here with AEW? Like, are you going to be strictly a wrestler? Are you going to perhaps do some commentary, or are things not as far along right now?
I'm sure I'm going to do absolutely everything. It depends on situations, you know, like if it calls for me to sit in and do commentary, I'll gleefully do that. But, you know, again, I don't need to be called a producer to help somebody with a match or give somebody an opinion or advice. Like, I just feel like that's the right thing to do, you know. So I'm not saying I'm gonna be wearing multiple hats, you know what I mean? But everything I do is going to be, it needs to be about giving back. You know what I mean? Like, I've wasted some of the best years of my life not doing this. I wouldn't say waste. I wasn't in the right place to be doing it. Everything works out, and I don't regret anything. But, you know, this isn't about me trying to, you know, worry about my wins and losses and junk like that. This is just about me trying to have fun and work with the right people that I can have fun with.
Thanks, Punk. Up next is Brian Joyce of Wrestle Talk, and then we'll try David Bixenspan one more time.
Vixen, I don't know what he's got, like a Commodore computer or something like that. I don't know what he's doing. A Tandy. He's working on a Tandy.
Hey guys, how you doing this fine evening?
Hi, Brian.
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I saw a fantastic show tonight, and I want to thank you both for that. Punk, I wanted to ask you, because I think it's been pretty public knowledge that when you left WWE, you were not a big fan of wrestling at that point. And you've since said tonight that you've fallen in love with wrestling again. I just wanted to ask you about that process and ask you to expand a little bit more on what made you love it that much more and what you loved about it in the first place, and just love of wrestling in general.
Well, I do not want to give negative answers and talk badly about anybody. This is why I make the distinction of on August 13th, 2005, I left professional wrestling. And on August 20th, 2021, I'm back in professional wrestling. I don't think I ever hated professional wrestling. I could watch a Terry Funk match. I could watch, you know, Bill Watts, UWF, Mid-South. I could watch Jim Crockett Promotions and enjoy it. Rest in power, Bobby Eaton. I could watch a Midnight Express match. I could listen to Steve Austin, stunning or otherwise, cut promos. I just think there needs to be a real distinction made of what I despised, and it wasn't professional wrestling, and they don't try to pretend that it is. So why are we going to continue to try to pretend that that's what it is? Because it's not. So if everybody's happy going forward, we're pro wrestling, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Thanks, Punk. We'll try David Bixenspan one more time just now.
Finally, geez. It's that the stupid Android app doesn't have a mute button.
I'm sorry.
There's no button for me to click when they call.
We got you now.
Yes, we did. All right. So I'll have one question for each of you. For Tony, if you could just describe from your side of the whole secret keeping thing, the decision to kind of go with this midpoint, like we're not directly promoting it, but we're not trying to keep the secret entirely thing.
I didn't know if you wanted to go ahead. You asked.
Well, I wasn't sure if I should say them both up front or not, but and then for
give them both bits. We'll one at a time. I'm sorry.
And then for Punk, just there are some people you've had issues with in the past in the company. Is it something you've already smoothed over that you're looking to deal with in the future?
So I'll go first. As far as that, it was, again, something we collaborated on, and I think his instincts were really, really good about it, that we wanted to have a big surprise moment, and I think my instincts that we wanted to sell out the building, and that we wanted to also have everybody know what was coming, and I think we kind of sat together, and it just was, it came together perfectly. It was exactly what both of us wanted, which was the surprise, but everybody knew what was coming, and we created like international, worldwide buzz. The buzz just around the city of Chicago today was palpable. You could feel it everywhere, and really everywhere wrestling is watched, you could feel people cared about this. The word was spreading, and it was really exciting. And I think it was the right call, and I credit it to CM Punk, because it was a great idea to do it that way, and it was just fun working on it with him, and that's how it came to be.
And
Thanks, Tony.
What was your question for me?
I don't know.
They did unmute me. Okay. Just if, as far as there are various people in the company you've had issues with in the past, some of which were pretty public, is it stuff you've already smoothed over? Are you looking to do some in the future? Different person, time away, etc.?
I didn't have a single problem with anybody back here today. I don't think I need to do the gossipy stuff, because I think this is a pretty positive night, and there's no reason to try to, I don't know, bring it down or be negative about it.
Thanks, all. Our final three questions will be from Sean Radican of PW Torch, John Alba of Spectrum Sports, and Louis Dangor of Give Me Sport. So Sean, the floor is yours.
Hey, Sean. Do we have Sean?
He's green, but he's not talking.
I'm finally just going to eat one of these ice cream bars.
Okay.
If I look like crap on the 5th of September, I'm sure the internet will let me know.
Well,
it won't. Bad.
It's not going to happen.
It's washed up.
That's not going to happen.
Now?
You look like a million.
Yes, we can hear you now, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
I wear a full bodysuit.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Not good.
These things have been sitting out for a while. It's a hot summer day. What's up, guys?
I fucked everything up. Oh, sorry.
A question for both of you. A great moment tonight, and just going forward, can you talk about sustaining? AEW and Dynamite and Rampage have been on a hell of a run, sustaining moments, and Punk was part of a huge moment tonight. And with what's coming up in the future with Punk, Tony, what kind of moments do you hope to create in the future collaborating together? And for Punk, what does it mean to you to be here? And are you looking forward to creating enjoyable memories, now that you're back in the ring?
Yes, 100%. I get excited about the prospect of me working with Pillman, Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, John Moxley. Never worked with a John Moxley before. Literally, there's everybody. I've never done anything with the Young Bucks. I've never stepped in the ring with Kenny Omega. I think there's so many dream matches, I think was what people will call them, but just dream situations, and who knows who else is coming. I don't know. I mean, you probably know, you're the boss and all that, but there's just different combinations that I think people can get excited about. And it feels live, like I'm jazzed to be here. I'm excited to be here. I said it out there in the promo. I'm here for the fans. I'm here for me. I'm not a liar. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you tell me this can be fun again, and I can go out there and have the time of my life. Yeah, that's the juice for me, and I think it's limitless possibilities. I really do believe that. It feels like an environment where anything can happen. Love live TV. Let's have fun.
Absolutely. We have such a great roster, and with the addition of CM Punk, I want to create indelible moments for CM Punk in AEW with the great stars of AEW. We have some of the best young wrestlers. We have some of the best established wrestlers. And I think now is a great time for CM Punk to come into AEW, because right now the company is tracking red hot. The shows have been tracking red hot. We have a lot of wrestlers in their prime, and now is a great time for some of the most exciting matchups we can make.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Punk. And thanks for your question, Sean. Up next is John Alba of Spectrum Sports, and then Louis Dangor of Give Me Sport will follow.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time and congratulations on a night that I think a lot of people are really going to remember for a long time. I got a question for each of you real quick here to allow Punk to finish his ice cream first. Tony, what's the status on Daniel Garcia? You've been obviously placing him in some pretty high caliber matches in the past few weeks. And then to Punk, I'm a big proponent that pro wrestling is at its best when it makes you feel something. And you clearly felt the enormity of the moment tonight walking down that aisle there. When you see that kind of reaction, how does it help you reflect on what your legacy has developed into over the past 7 years? And how do you think you can contribute to AEW from a business standpoint?
Well, legacy is a weird thing for me because, I don't put too much stock in legacy. I came up at a weird time in pro wrestling, you know what I mean? Where like independents were kind of still kind of new, and I wish there were territories, but what I did is instead of traveling to a territory for 4 or 6 months and then moving on to the next one, I just tried to work everywhere I possibly could and to learn from as many people as I possibly could. So, to me, what I would like my legacy to be is I was the kid that Terry Funk loved. I was the kid that Harley Race loved. I was the kid that Dusty Rhodes loved. I was a kid that all these old school wrestlers loved. And then I got to a place where I thought was supposed to be my dream job, and these dudes that idolized these same guys that loved me didn't like me, and it didn't make any sense to me. So going forward, I think my legacy is to just help out the young guys the way Harley helped me, the way Terry Funk helped me, the way Eddie Guerrero helped me, and not be a dick. Just for what? Protect a spot. Who cares? That's my legacy.
That's a great answer. I will have difficulty following that, but that's a great answer.
Tracy Smothers.
That's great.
I mean, I was a kid that Pat Patterson said I was born, 20, 30 years late, and I take that stuff as a compliment. I had Sting come up to me today and tell me he was excited to work with me, and he wished that he got to work with me, you know, back in his day. Like that's my legacy, man. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. So again, I have trouble following that, but yes, Daniel Garcia is doing awesome. He's done tremendous work recently for us, and he's been involved in some really important matches, and it's great to have a fresh young heel who can come in and immediately get thrown into the fire and succeed and really come through for us in these situations. So he is under an agreement, and I think he can do a lot more things and really shine for us in the future and stay with us for a long time, hopefully. So Daniel Garcia is doing great work, and he had a great match with Moxley tonight in the main event match of the show.
And that kid's 22.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the Buffalo Boys, if you remember. Yeah, he's come a long way from that car accident. This kid broke his legs in a car accident a couple of years ago. He really worked his ass off to get where he's at, and he was a kid who came through on AEW Dark and had some really good matches, and 2.0 had come available as free agents, and I really wanted to do a trios match with Darby and Eddie and Mox, and I thought it would be cool to have those three guys out there together with Sting, and it just so happened that Garcia was really probably the freshest young face on AEW Dark, and 2.0 had been really a good tag team, I thought, on NXT and on the independents, and so it made a lot of sense to me as a trio, and they've just hit home run after home run with Sting and Darby, and tonight with Moxley and with Eddie.
Thanks, Tony. It's now time for the final question of the night. So Louis Dangor of Give Me Sport, the floor is yours.
Hi guys, absolute pleasure to talk to you both. A question I had for you, Punk, and then one for Tony as well. We've seen over the last couple of months things open up with regards to people within AEW working with Impact, working with New Japan, with the likes of those promotions. I know you mentioned Ring of Honor in your promo there. Is that something you're interested in, actively looking to do, or are you focused right now on being an AEW guy and focused on what you're doing with AEW? And Tony, I know you've been incredibly busy tonight and had a lot on, but scrolling through Twitter now, there's a lot of people actively thanking you for saving their love of professional wrestling, for reinvigorating themselves, for both of you, of course. Kind of your thoughts when you see comments like that of you guys refinding people's love with wrestling with the product that you guys are putting on.
I'm an AEW guy. I'm not. Listen, guys, I just came back. You're trying to book me on in all these damn different territories already. I have freedom here to continue to do outside endeavors like my commentary with CFFC, and the schedule here enables me not only scheduling wise but also just main event talent wise. Like I don't have to be on every show, just the way now like Omega and the Bucks aren't on every show. The talent roster is so deep, you could give people time off if their wife's having a baby. It's, to me, that's a novel concept that should be embraced, and really credit to this guy for allowing stuff like that to happen. I think he gets pole position regarding things I do. If he tells me he wants me to go be in the G1, we'll talk about it. But I'm here.
That's a lot of matches.
Yeah, I said, well, I'm here to be an AEW guy. I'm here to be a TNT guy, in front of the camera and behind the camera. And I think it's great. Forbidden Door, working with TNA, Impact, and all these other things. And maybe somewhere down the line, I will fit into that. But right now, like I said, I just jumped into this pool. Let me swim in this pool before I get out, towel off, jump into the sauna or whatnot. Like I'm an AEW guy.
I'm very, very grateful to CM Punk for taking a chance on AEW, coming here and doing this with us tonight. It was the most anticipated thing we've ever done, and people had a high expectation, and they got exactly what they wanted to see. And it's pretty cool when you can do that for people. And that's one of the reasons I love wrestling. And I think that tonight was a really special moment for a lot of fans. I hope we made a lot of new fans, and I hope we brought a lot of fans back to wrestling, and the fans who've been with it this whole time. I think they probably loved it too. So I think I was a home run, and I have to give all the credit to CM Punk for coming back and doing this with us.
You got to give some credit to this guy because he's the one who brought me back, whether you like it or not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Punk. And thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Thanks again, and have a good night.
Thanks, everybody.
You guys. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was fun.
Good answers.
Yeah,
Good
you
answers.
too. Good answers. That was great.